Much like hit 1995 crime thriller 7, I will be answering one of life's great questions: what's in the box? Even though the box is, in fact, a bag. I posted this video a few days after I actually recorded it because I wanted it to be April when this video went live. That's because April is Autism Awareness Month. Consider yourself aware, by the way. And the thing that is in the box or bag or whatever is Mattel's new Autistic Barbie. So Autistic Barbie, Autistic Month, makes sense to me. I actually bought 2 of these, one of which was for my nieces. I figured Autistic Uncle, Autistic Barbie, it was a teachable moment. I bought myself one, too. Figured, again, Autistic Author, Autistic Barbie, kind of feels like the kind of thing I should be supporting, especially because the Autistic Barbie was made with consulting the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, which admittedly I don't know very much about, but that self-advocacy angle does seem pretty hopeful. That out of the way, let's get her out of the box, I guess. So I didn't bother recording me fighting to get her out of the box and out of those like little plastic safety tie things that toys tend to be tied up in their boxes. I will say the packaging was at least easier to deal with than a lot of toys I've had to deal with before, so props to Mattel for that, at least, I guess. Turning to Autistic Barbie herself, my first impression is actually kind of a funny thing. She looks to me a lot like Ann Perkins from Parks and Recreation, which is really funny because she was the least autistic person on that show, I guess, in terms of the actual Barbie doll. I don't remember Barbies usually being this articulated. Apparently that was so you can pose her to look like she's doing the autistic stimming behavior, like the hand flapping and stuff. Again, I don't really have anything to compare this Barbie to, but apparently her eyes are modeled so that she's not actually looking directly at you, which I feel on a very deep level because I hate having to maintain eye contact. I mean, even shooting these videos, talking to what is essentially a TV on a stick makes me feel like a complete idiot, and you have probably noticed that I tend to look everywhere but at said TV on a stick, so yeah, so far she's pretty accurate to my own autistic experience. She's wearing noise-canceling headphones. Again, I feel that very deeply. There are environments in my life that I can basically only survive when I'm wearing a pair of noise-canceling headphones. She's got a fidget spinner that actually fidgets. I'm not sure if you can actually see that, but it is turning. I mean, I like playing with fidget spinners, but I've never actually used them to like pay more attention to something. I think partly because they really became a thing after I was already out of school. That being said, I do fidget a lot, though personally what I tend to do in like a lecture or a talk or whatever is just doodle copiously, so I guess same conclusion, different premises. She's also got the it's called an AAC tablet. Apparently, it's the communication thing nonverbal autistic people use to communicate. This is probably my least favorite thing about the autistic Barbie because I feel like it's kind of playing into the, if not stereotype, then at least concept that autistic equals severely disabled, which is not true 100% of the time. And in fact, a lot of the criticism I've seen about the autistic Barbie, both from autistic people and neurotypical people, is that it's not an accurate representation of autism because you can't represent a spectrum of experience in a single doll, which I do appreciate. I don't necessarily agree with it because autism is an invisible disability. It manifests in different ways, but at the same time, there are only so many ways that you can code a doll that doesn't talk or live or really do anything as autistic. So I do get that they had to choose things to represent that this is an autistic Barbie. And at the same time, kids are very imaginative. I don't think there's any reason why, little Stacy playing with Barbie can't have autistic Barbie as, an autistic kid who grew up to be a social worker who helps autistic kids who are like her when she was a kid, and this is the thing she uses in her job. And of course, little Stacy's probably also going to have autistic Barbie flying around riding unicorns on the moon. So I don't really see how it matters what autistic Barbie is wearing when it's ultimately the kids who play with autistic Barbie who are going to be the arbiters of what autistic Barbie does with herself. And I think the most important thing about autistic Barbie is that she exists. Again, little Stacy is going to be playing with and imagining autistic Barbie in ways Mattel themselves didn't necessarily anticipate, but that's how kids play with their toys. I think ultimately it's enough that a parent can give this to their kid and say, this Barbie doll is autistic. Please make sure all of the other Barbies are friendly to her and let her know that she belongs. People say all the time how important representation is, and autistic Barbie is representing people like me just by the fact that she exists, even if her own experience with autism isn't exactly like mine. But of course it's not exactly like mine. Autism is a spectrum. Everyone is different, whether they're autistic or not. On the note of Autism Awareness Month, if you go to my blog or to my Substack or to my Patreon, you can reread my write-up about the anime Azumanga Daioh, which in my opinion is one of the greatest depictions of autism ever, because one of the main points and even the tagline of the series itself is the two simple words, you belong. I think the best way you can represent and depict autistic characters in a work of fiction is just having them be included and accepted by other people. And again, the fact that autistic Barbie even exists in the first place is a very good step towards doing that. So yeah, 8.7 out of 10 would avoid